All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I'm Is There No One Else? In today's video, I wanted to talk about a couple skills that I haven't talked about in a little while. I wanted to make sure that people aren't going to... If you guys have been around my channel for a while, I know I took a break. I like to talk about balance changes. Like to talk about adjustments and everything, bring forward my case. I'm just a player. It's just my opinion. I'm not here to say, oh, this needs to be this way or anything like that. I'm here to have a conversation. I'm here to have a conversation and a discussion. You guys can tell already from this PvP footage in the background, this is before the performance improvements. And so yeah, so you're going to see a little bit of delay there and a little delay here and whatever. But enough delaying on this video. Let's talk about these two things. So yeah, I like to talk about different skill adjustments and I like to bring forward a case, and it's my opinion. And it's my opinion that I try to back with fact. And regardless of whatever I play, because I play everything, I like to try and have all classes. My goal is in my head when I talk about these things is to make all classes viable and fun, and stuff that overperforms relative to other similar things like a skill should be adjusted and brought in line. So that's going to be the name of the game for this specific video. We're going to talk about two healing skills that I think I've been very surprised have not been adjusted yet. And we're going to talk about it here because, yeah, I'm back and I want to talk about it. So yeah, let's dive into it. Number one, we're going to talk about intensive mender. Intensive mender is a necromancer skill. It's a little ghosty boy right next to you. And you have the 10% damage mitigation one, and you have the other one that heals you every 2 seconds. It'll heal you for X amount depending on your weapon or spell damage, whichever's higher. Intensive Mender has been powerful for magic and necromancers for a very long time, like a very, very long time. And now recently it scales with your weapon damage, and so now it's been stronger for stamina necromancers as well. I get anywhere on my build like 6 to 12.5k intensive mender ticks, which every 2 seconds, pretty damn strong. like that's really strong for a mender. Plus it can heal other people. It can heal other people in the area. And so every 2 seconds it's going off and it's firing. And when you compare it before this next patch, before High Isle, Bubble and Intensive Mender are very similar as far as what they provide, in my opinion, as far as the overall healing power, as far as what they give. Where Intensive Mender heals other people in your group and Bubble provides a snare and it's only to you. They're very similar strength-wise. Now, if you guys have been reading the patch notes, Bubble got a pretty substantial adjustment, and rightfully so, in my opinion. I think it was needed. I think oftentimes, like, my entire opinion on PvP in general is like the vast majority of people should be able to die in PvP. If you make a mistake, if you don't block a certain thing, if you don't dodge roll a certain thing, you should get punished for making mistakes. And oftentimes when damage mitigation or certain specs have enough healing, they're very easy to play, and it stalemates a lot of fights that really shouldn't stalemate. And in PvP, it's not fun. It's not fun when a fight stalemates. When you know you can't kill a class literally because they have something that just allows them to not die. And Intensive Mender is one of those skills. Now, I do play everything. I have taken a small reprieve from other classes since I've been flipping a house and everything. My most played class, probably in the last 6 months, if you guys have been watching my channel, is Necromancer. I play a lot of stamina Necromancers. So this is not me, having this vendetta against Necromancers, wanting them nerfed to the ground or anything like that. This is me playing Necromancer and saying, hey guys, they're buffing Mortal Coil next patch. They're giving us a better version of Mortal Coil. I never needed Intensive Mender, and then they gave it to me, and it just kind of puts Necromancer over the top in the survival category. It was already over the top. It really was. And then they added Intensive Mender, and it's just, yeah, it's... For as mad as everybody gets about Templars, and rightfully so, like Magic Templars just having crazy survival, Necromancer is the exact same way. It's the exact same way. One got adjusted and one didn't. And yeah, if you're looking to compare the two and you're saying that these are similar skills, they both probably should have been adjusted in my opinion. So yeah, that's my opinion. Intensive Mender needs an adjustment. The next skill, I know you guys think I'm going to talk about a radiating regeneration, and we could keep talking about that. I've done so many videos on radiating. I've provided my opinion. You guys know where I stand on it. Like, the cross healing for radiating is extremely powerful. It creates a situation where it's just very tough to kill people. I'm not backing off from that. I still do think intensive or radiating regeneration needed an adjustment, but we're going to talk about an ultimate this time. We're going to talk about Resto-Ult, and Resto-Ult's extremely powerful. If you guys compare Resto-Ult to any other heal ultimate in the game, it's just better. Like, it's just better. You're more mobile. You cast it, you can animation cancel it, you get in and out of it really quickly. Trees, it has to stay in one place, so you have to fight in the area. It doesn't have nearly as much healing power. It is cheaper, and so there is that aspect of trees, which makes it nice, but it's not the same type of mobility. Like, you and your group can go into a tower and you could pop a resto ult, and you can go in there. Traditionally, Templar healing ult, you've been stationary, and so you make yourself a target. Now, there was a point in time where the Templar healing ult healed for a ton and you couldn't die when you were into it, and they've adjusted it, and now you can if you have 2, 3, 4 people on you. And you can now move with it as well. I can't remember if it's full speed or just partial speed or whatever, but you can now move with the healing ult. But considering the cost of resto ult versus that, I would still contend that Life Giver is just better. Now, in my opinion, I think that class skills and class ultimates should inherently be more powerful and more useful than weapon skill lines. And that's because, we want our classes to feel like the classes we're playing. Like when you look at a dragonknight, it's very rare that you see a dragonknight not using dragonknight ultimates, right? Because their ultimates are so good. Same thing with Templar. Crescent is so nice. And so when you look at these, well, when you look at a stamina nightblade or even a magic nightblade, they're either using like soul harvest in cap or tether traditionally, because those ultimates are really good and it's part of the class identity, and it's just better than, it feels more like a nightblade than a nightblade running Dawnbreaker is my point, right? I feel that healing skill line should be the same way, and when you compare Resto Ult to the other ones, it's just better. Like, it's better by a lot, to a point to where I don't think I've ever died with Resto Ult up. I know I've died when I've popped trees. I know I've died when I've had to pop a praying ult and I've had a few people on me because I couldn't move. I don't think I've ever died. I don't know why that guy didn't get stunned. I don't think I've ever died with a Resto Ult up, because you get so much healing with it. It's like 10 to 12 per tick, 12k per tick. It's crazy. And yeah, like, it's a very, very strong ultimate, and I think you need to balance it compared to other healing ults in the game and bring it down in line with the other ones. Like, I did an entire video, a healer training series video with one of my buddies a while back, and if I remember correctly, I think he runs Resto Ult in just about every class in the game, because it's just a better healing ult, and it makes sense. It makes sense, right? Like, it's just better, and so I think it needs to be reduced for that reason. Another thing to kind of think about as well is next patch we have Oaken Soul coming out, and Oaken Soul is its own thing. And if you go watch Sawman UK's video from a couple days ago, he's having a fight with a Sork on PTS, and the guy drops 3 different Atronox in the same fight. So it's one Sork with 3 Atronox down fighting him. He's getting zapped by 3 different Atronox because the ulti-gen is so crazy that he's able to have 3 Atronox up at that time. If you go watch Nice ESO's video from today, he's just flying through spell wall. And he's generating so much ult, he gets a spell wall so quickly. And so Oaken Soul is going to exasperate very powerful ultimates, especially defensive ones, in my opinion. Now, I didn't really think to look at like healer specs when I was first looking at Oaken Soul, but if ulti-gen is going to be that powerful, and it will be, and you don't die with Resto Ult, if you can find a way to have 100% uptime on Resto Ult, that will be better than any healing spec in the game. Like, it just will be. It'll be better than any 10 skill spec of the game. If you're constantly rattling off Resto Ults, knowing that, if you're fighting a relatively even fight and you have 2 or 3 people on you, you're not dying with a Resto Ult up. And if you constantly have a Resto Ult up, you're not dying. And so yeah, you're going to see groups utilize that and abuse it, and rightfully so, because it exists in the game. And so they need to be adjusted. Like, the Oaken Soul ulti-gen, if you look at it, it probably needs to be adjusted for a multitude of reasons, but it's going to compound with Resto Ult in a few ways that are going to be a lot stronger than other specs, in my opinion. Like, like Werewolf, transformation ults, like, you can't generate ultimate while you're in them, those sorts of things. So those sorts of things, like, it's not going to be as powerful as like a Templar with Resto. And I'll go on the PTS and I'll do a follow-up video with this, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about, so you don't think I'm just blowing smoke or anything. So yeah, those are the 2 skills. One is a normal class skill, the other one's an ultimate, that I think need to be adjusted. that I was kind of surprised were not adjusted. I want to hear your guys' opinion. Hopefully I provided some facts. Hopefully I provided something. If I missed something, let me know. But yeah, we're going to end it here. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Stay.